Bureau of Land Management is responsible for the care of many millions of acres of forest lands such as these. In its administration of these lands, the Bureau must take into account their various use potentials. The harvesting and processing of forest products from timberlands is one of the most apparent and foremost in economic importance of their uses. Many local communities are dependent for their very existence upon the wages earned from wood-using industries. Countless people of all ages and of every occupation find in these lands recreational opportunities. It is difficult to place values on recreational use, but it is of utmost importance to a great many people. The expanding needs of communities, industries, and agriculture make ever-increasing demands upon the available water supply. Water management on Bureau lands has become of vital importance to maintain the volume and quality of stream flows. Mining claimants have legal rights in the maintenance and operation of their claims, and although their operations may conflict greatly with other uses, we must recognize their legality and economic importance. Some types of forest lands produce appreciable amounts of forage. The right to graze these lands is highly valued by leaseholders. The Bureau must safeguard the forest from insect and disease attacks and from fire. The bark beetle-killed trees in this stand vary from patches of an acre to single trees. As you have seen, the management of a forest area calls for a multiple-use program, together with adequate safeguards for the protection of the forest. The coordination and proper emphasis of the various land uses and the protection of the lands and timber necessitates the development of a long-range management plan. The purpose of such a plan is to reach working decisions on how we intend to manage related groupings of Bureau lands in a systematic manner. The procedures to be followed in developing the various phases of the management plan for an area are given in this handbook. This book is not only procedural, it is also an illustrative example of how a land management plan would be made and assembled. For the purpose of flexibility, a loose-leaf notebook is used. This will permit sections to be inserted as they are completed and changes to be readily made. The plan is composed of two major units: treatment of the master unit as a whole. Master unit boundaries delineate major economic and geographic units and are established by secretarial order. And treatment of individual planning units. Planning unit boundaries define individual areas within the master unit, which are logical economic and geographic subdivisions of the master unit. The geographic location map is the first step in the preparation of the master unit plan. This map shows the location of the master unit in relation to other major areas, road systems, and principal communities. All maps and sections of the plan bear the date of effectiveness. In the next step, the utilization center and normal log flow map is prepared. Indicate by colored circles all utilization centers. This route indicates log movement to a utilization center. This route, Highway 99, indicates routes on which logs flow both ways between utilization centers. A tabular summary will be given of the installed capacity of industry for each utilization center. In the third step, prepare the transportation system map for the master unit, showing all the roads which are available for hauling BLM timber. A private road on which the BLM does not have a use agreement is not available. This is a hard surfaced road available to the public. This is a gravel surfaced road available to the public. This is a forest road available to the Bureau. In the fourth step, prepare the exchange map for the master unit. Show the area where exchange is desirable. Show the area where retention and consolidation of land is desirable. By exchange of these scattered tracts, and by consolidating ownership in these areas, the Bureau's administrative problems will be lessened. A narrative report briefly covering the points set forth in the narrative outline section of the handbook is to be prepared for the master unit. The purpose of this report is to give a broad, general picture of the master unit, geographically, economically, and statistically. The basic land management area is the planning unit. Priorities of planning are established by designating the sequence of development for each of the planning units. Planning will not be confined exclusively to one unit. Various phases of planning will proceed simultaneously in a number of units. A forest disaster may result in an immediate and complete change in the direction and sequence of operations. This western gall rust infection calls for immediate action. That is one reason why detailed sales plans are limited to periods of 5 years in advance of operations. When a year of the plan is placed into operations, another year of planning is added. The forester and the engineer must work closely together. Roads should be located and constructed according to approved standards. Road locations should serve the future as well as the present needs of the stand. We have seen how the master unit is divided into planning units and the determination of the sequence of development of these units. In a similar manner, the planning unit is subdivided into areas of priority of planning. Planning should proceed simultaneously in a number of these priority areas. This is necessary to diversify operations in order to avoid concentrations of slash, minimize road congestion and interference by adjoining operations, and to meet the special requirements of individual areas. Sales areas and road locations are so closely interrelated that paper locations of sale area boundaries should be integrated with road projections at all times. A primary purpose of the plan is to serve timber removal. A short-term plan would consider mature timber only. A long-range plan must consider the future service of immature stands as well. The initial phase is one of determining the direction of approach. In making this determination, the planner will make use of all data representative of field conditions. A knowledge of local conditions affecting road location, stand condition, and sales layout, to be gained only from an on-the-ground examination of the area, is absolutely essential as a preliminary to the paper projection. This paper projection, made on large-scale work maps, will include the entire mainline road, sales areas for 5 years in advance, and the spur roads necessary to serve these sales areas. The next step is to confirm the projected location of roads and sales areas by field reconnaissance. Unsuspected features of topography may necessitate changes in the projection. The reconnaissance survey with minor corrections may be found acceptable as the final location. In order to protect our investment and to keep roads in a usable condition, plans must be made for road maintenance. All the development planning necessary for this priority area at this time has now been completed. An improvement plan for the planning unit is required. This plan will include reforestation, site improvement, snag falling, and thinning. The goal of the plan is to get all presently non-productive and partly productive areas back into full production. The objective of the protection plan is to minimize destruction of forest resources by insects, disease, or fire. The protection plan will consider hazard reduction, fire lines and jeep trails, disease. This gall was caused by a fungus which may be fatal to ponderosa pine. And insects. These are woolly aphis nodules. This aphis is deadly to silver fir of western Oregon. The fire protection goal is to hold the acreage of the annual burn to 1/10 of 1%. Special needs should be recognized. When porcupine damage is a problem, the program for their eradication should be added to the protection plan under animal pests. The special program section provides for significant elements not included elsewhere in the management plan. These may include recreation, water management, mining, and range improvements. All phases of the various plans are supported by statistical and operational tabulations. The plan is now ready to be put into use.